Good morning, friends. Once again, I welcome you back on this class of video lecture. And this is BA Part 2nd English Literature. And we have been doing paper 1 for last couple of weeks. And friends, since we have been doing a very famous poem written by Thomas Gray, Elegy written in a country churchyard. It's a long poem, so that's why it is taking much time. So we have done in previous classes around 7 stanzas, right? And before I come to today's stanza, that is stanza number 8, I first of all, for acquaintance, I repeat stanza 1. You please memorize this stanza 1. It's very important to begin with the poem. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. The lowing herd wends slowly over the lea. The ploughman homeward plods his weary way, and leaves the world to darkness and to me. The last line of stanza 1 is quite significant. The poet, since the tone of the poem is melancholic, the tone of the poem is pathetic, that's why the poet says that this is not the darkness spreading outside, but this darkness is also present in his own heart, and this darkness relates to the division of society, to the helplessness of those villagers who could never come to the forefront. So, friends, today I come directly to the next stanza which we are supposed to do today. First of all, I read the stanza. Let not ambition mock their useful toil, their homely joys and destiny obscure, nor grandeur hear with a disdainful smile the short and simple annals of the poor. This is a very famous stanza written by Thomas Gray. So, what does poet want to say? The poet says, "Let the powerful and renowned people not despise the humble manual labor of these poor peasants." What happens in society? That the powerful people, the resourceful people, mock those who are poor, who are resourceless, who are laborers, who are peasants, who are workers. Their hard work, their toil is often ridiculed, is often mocked by this so called privileged class of society. So the poet says, let the powerful and renowned people not despise the humble manual labor of these poor peasants. The poet wants to say that the entire civilization stands because of the labor of these classes. All the pillars of luxury, comfort, and convenience which are enjoyed, which are used by these classes, from where do these pillars come? From where does this infrastructure come? Who is the creator? Who generates them? So the poet says, it is these poor peasants, it is these poor laborers. When they work day and night, when they work hour by hour, then this empire comes into existence. So the poet says, I again repeat, let the powerful and renowned people not despise the humble manual labor of these poor peasants, which is so useful to mankind, nor should they scorn the simple and innocent pleasure enjoyed by these poor people in the midst of their family. Yes, and even the small enjoyments of poor people are often ridiculed, are often neglected, are often mocked by these classes. So the poet says they shouldn't do like this. They shouldn't mock or scorn the simple and innocent pleasures, the rustic pleasures enjoyed by these poor people in the midst of their family, nor their low lot of living and dying unknown to fame. And what happens with these classes? They never they are never able to obtain fame, name, and opinion. So the poet says they should be given some space in their lives so that their labor, their lives, their pleasures may get acknowledged. Right? Great and high born people shouldn't listen to should not listen to the history of these peasants' lives with contempt. When the lives are recorded of these classes, the great and high born people, the noble classes, the aristocratic classes, they do not listen to the simple annals of the poor. The poets request them not to do this. Give some space, give some attention, yes, so that at least they could be acknowledged in the cycle of history. So, what does the poet say? Great and high born people should not listen to the history of these peasants' lives with contempt, merely because their life has been so uneventful and bare. This is very important. The lives of poor people have been uneventful and bare because in the history, in the cycle of history, in the circle of history, eventful life is recorded. Life with bravery is recorded. Life with honor is recorded. Life with luxury is recorded. Life with name, fame, and opinion is recorded. Life of so called noble classes, life with nobility, life with aristocracy is recorded. But in the history, the uneventful and bare life, because the life of these people, who are these people? The farmers, the workers, the laborers, the peasants, who have no events in their lives. They simply wake up in the morning, go to the fields, graze the cattle, do work at fields, and in the twilight, in the evening, they come back to their homes. So, and they lead such life for years, right? Their life has not been that important, that significant. There is no history, there is no polity, there is no culture, there is nothing except life. Life close to nature, life close to relations, life away from materialism, life away from capitalism, simple life, the rustic life. The very fit word is rustic, simple, uneventful, and bare. So the poet says, should we contempt such life? Should we despise such life? Should we listen to the life scale, the life tales of these people with a smile full of contempt, mocking? Gray says, no, we shouldn't do this. So, again I repeat the entire stanza. Let not ambition, the noble classes. Ambition here means the aristocratic classes. Let not ambition mock they are coming for farmers, laborers, useful toil, hard work. The hard work done by farmers is useful for society. They produce grains which we eat. They work at fields, and when they work at fields, the grains are produced, the crops are produced, and finally we eat the crops. So, in this way, their toil is important. So, we should never despise the toil of workers, laborers, peasants. So, the focus is on laborers. Let not ambition mock their useful toil, their homely joys and destiny obscure their homely joys, and we should never, you know, scorn their simple joys, eh? Simple and innocent pleasures. They have pleasures in their own way. They have their own mirth and merriment. They have their own festivals. For this, we could go to the tribal areas and we should witness how do they enjoy when the crop is reaped, when there are some rituals of marriage, when there are some rituals related to season of nature, when season changes, right? When there are some festivals, how do they enjoy? They sing songs, they dance around fire. They have their own ways of mirth and merriment. They do not have that pomp and show. They do not have that luxury, comfort, and convenience. But they enjoy. Their methods of enjoyment are simple and innocent. So, in the so called civilized society, such simple and innocent methods of enjoyment are mocked, scorned. People laugh at them. So, the poet says, their homely joys and destiny. This is very important part of the poem. Their destiny remains unacknowledged, unattended, unregistered, unrecorded. This is what we call the subaltern history, a very famous branch of knowledge which has been recently come in the social science. They are not popular. They are not acknowledged in entire civilization. Who acknowledges farmers? Who acknowledges workers? And destiny obscure. Nor grandeur here with a disdainful smile, the short and simple annals of the poor. Right? So let the powerful and renowned people not despise the humble labor of poor peasants, which is very important for mankind, nor should they scorn the simple and innocent pleasures enjoyed by these poor classes. And again, what does the poet say? Great and high born people shouldn't listen to the history of these peasants' lives with contempt, merely because their life has been so uneventful and bare. Thank you, friends. We do the next stanza tomorrow.